which Straw Hat would be able to beat each version of Luffy. So, because of the latest manga chapters, don't worry, I won't spoil anything, we've seen that the rest of the Straw Hats, aside from the monster trio, are pretty far behind in terms of power. That sparked a lot of debate in the community about whether Oda is handling the power levels within the crew well, and some fans even think the crew is poorly balanced and kinda weak compared to the overall level of strength in the world. So then I started thinking to myself, what would happen if each current Mugiwara faced off against the different versions of Luffy throughout the series? Who would win? How would they win? Against which version of Luffy could they actually take the win? And that's exactly why I'm bringing you this video today, where we're gonna analyze the power of each Straw Hat against the different versions of Luffy. Remember, if you enjoy this kind of video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so I can reach 5,000 subscribers and make my dream come true. Also, drop a comment and tell me what you're doing while watching this video. Let's get started by breaking down Luffy's power over the course of the series, from the East Blue all the way to the Wano arc. Anyway, we obviously have to measure Luffy's power based on the different arcs, so I decided to split it into phases, because even though Luffy has his gears, it's not the same thing using second gear for the first time versus how he uses it now. That's why I think the term phase fits better. In total, I broke it down into 6 phases. Phase 1, from the very start of the series up until Logtown. Phase 2 covers Arabasta and Skypiea, where Luffy starts getting a bit stronger and more experienced. Phase 3, Water 7, Enies Lobby, Thriller Bark, Sabaody, and Marineford. This is where he unlocks second and third gear. Phase 4, post-time skip in Fishman Island and Dressrosa. Here he's got gear 4th, Haki, and a massive power boost. Phase 5, Whole Cake Island, where he gains Snake Man and the ability to see into the future. Phase 6 starts with the Wano arc, where he unlocks Gear 5 and Advanced Conqueror's Haki, and his power level just goes completely insane. Alright, so let's kick this off with Phase 1, which basically covers the beginning of the series up until Logtown. We're talking about that baby Luffy, the rookie who just left his village to chase his dream of becoming king of the pirates. At this point in time, Luffy's basically a rubbery punching bag with a couple of basic gum-gum moves under his belt, and zero knowledge about Haki, battle strategies, or even real combat experience. Yeah, sure, he's got heart, he's got ambition, and he's already thrown down with a few East Blue baddies like Buggy and Arlong. But let's be real, compared to who he is now, this version of Luffy is a total lightweight. The dude was basically winging it. Now imagine throwing current day Straw Hats against this baby Luffy. It's a bloodbath, honestly. Let's get the obvious ones out of the way first. Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei would absolutely annihilate him. No contest. These three are monsters even in the current timeline. If you drop them back in Phase 1, they wouldn't just beat Luffy, they'd erase him. If Oda had written them like that from day 1, the series would have ended in Chapter 2. No cap. Next up, we got Brook. And listen, people love to clown on Brook for being the comic relief, but don't sleep on this skeleton. His speed is insane, his freezing sword attacks are dangerous as hell, and his mastery over the Yomi Yomi no Mi makes him a real threat. Against Phase 1 Luffy, he's slicing and dicing before Luffy can even stretch his arm. Frankie, same story. Luffy wouldn't stand a chance. Frankie's got raw power, a tanky body, weapons galore, lasers, missiles, the works. He'd literally just blast Luffy into orbit with a radical beam. Luffy's punches back then wouldn't even scratch the cola-powered beast. Even Chopper, who people love to call useless, would demolish Luffy at this point. Why? Because of Monster Point. That form alone is enough to turn Luffy into a literal rag doll. Doesn't matter if Chopper's a cinnamon roll most of the time, when he goes full beast mode, Phase 1 Luffy is toast. Now let's talk Robin. After everything we saw from her in Wano, especially that demonic form or whatever the hell that was, she'd body Luffy. Just one giant arm grabbing his neck and boom. Fight's over. He wouldn't even know what hit him. Then we get to Usopp, and this one might sound like a debate for some people, but hear me out. Current Usopp has observation haki, insane aim, sneaky tactics, and all those weird seed attacks. He's basically a sniper with a loadout of traps and projectiles. And against Phase 1 Luffy, who charges headfirst into everything, Usopp would wipe the floor with him using nothing but brains and tricks. He wouldn't even need to get close. So now, who's left? Ah, Nami. And yeah, sorry Nami fans, but she's the only one who probably couldn't beat Luffy, even at this rookie stage. I mean, yeah, she's got Zeus now, and that does make her super strong, especially in terms of lightning damage. But the dude is made of rubber. Literally, thunderbolts just slide right off him. Even if she goes full Zeus mode and zaps him with all she's got, Luffy's gonna eat that and come back with a Gum Gum pistol to the face. Lights out, Nami. No hard feelings. So that's the rundown for Phase 1. To recap, winners against Rookie Luffy: Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei, Brook, Frankie, Chopper, Robin, Usopp. Loser, Nami. 8 Straw Hats stomp Luffy at this point. Only one walks away with an L. That's just how much Luffy has grown through the story. In the early days, the man had potential and a devil fruit, but that's about it. Against the crew today, he wouldn't even make it to the Grand Line, and that's the beauty of this little breakdown, seeing just how far Luffy's come and how much stronger the rest of the crew has gotten too. But in this specific version, Rookie Luffy's got no chance, except of course against Nami. Sorry girl. Phase 2. Arabasta and Skypiea era. Alright, in Phase 2, we're jumping into Luffy's early Grand Line days, specifically Arabasta and Skypiea. At this point, he's a bit stronger than his East Blue self. He's got more fighting experience, a few more creative uses of his Devil Fruit, and the guy has taken down a warlord. But don't get it twisted, he's still far from what he becomes later. No hockey, no gears, just raw instinct and rubber. Now, let's drop current Straw Hats into this stage and see who's mopping the floor with this version of Luffy. First up, Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei. Same deal as Phase 1. They absolutely steamroll him. These guys are just built different. No way Phase 2 Luffy could keep up with any of them. It's not even a contest, it's a beatdown. Then you've got Brook. It's a little closer than before, sure. Luffy now has more grit and knows how to handle strong opponents. But still, Brook's crazy speed and ice-based attacks make him a massive threat. Rubber or not, Frozen is frozen, and Brook can absolutely lock Luffy down and finish him off. So yeah, Brook still takes the win. Frankie? Same story. The guy's a walking war machine. Luffy doesn't have the firepower or durability yet to go toe-to-toe with Frankie's arsenal. Radical beams, punches, iron body. Frankie's got too many tools for this version of Luffy to survive. He'd get flattened. Chopper keeps his monster point, so yeah. Once again, it's like watching a gorilla slap a kid. Luffy gets ragdolled. Chopper may not be the most consistent fighter, but when he's in beast mode, he's a serious problem for pre-hockey Luffy. Robin gets a little more interesting. Phase 2. Luffy has better reflexes now, so she might have a harder time catching him, but considering how ridiculously strong her Wano era form is, demon hands, massive range, and absurd strength, yeah, she's still winning. It might not be easy, but she's got this. Usopp versus Luffy here is actually a closer fight than before. Luffy is smarter, tougher, and hits harder than in Phase 1, but Usopp's current version has observation haki, long-range attacks, and that sneaky Trapmaster brain. Give him some prep time and he'll cook up a plan to take Luffy out without even needing to trade blows. So yeah, I'm giving it to Usopp again, but it'd be tight. Winners against Phase 2, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei, Brook, Frankie, Chopper, Robin, Usopp. Loser, again, Nami. So yeah, once more, almost everyone stomps him. Luffy's definitely improved from Phase 1, no doubt, but he's still not even close to where the rest of the crew is right now. The power gap is still massive. You can tell just how much each Mugiwara has grown when you put them next to one of Luffy's older versions. And yeah, it makes you wonder, how the hell did this rubber kid survive so long back then? Phase 3. Water 7, Enies Lobby, Thriller Bark, Sabayati, and Marineford. Alright, now things start to get spicy. Phase 3. Luffy is a serious step up. He's got second gear and third gear in his arsenal now, and even though he doesn't fully master them yet, they give him crazy boosts in speed and raw power. He's not just scrapping anymore. He's blitzing CP9 agents and throwing down with warlords. Still no haki though, so he's not untouchable. Let's run it down. Who among the current Straw Hats can still beat him at this stage? Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei. Still on top, no question. Even with second and third gear, Luffy doesn't have the skill or durability to survive a serious fight against any of them. Zoro's strength and precision, Sanji's speed and fire kicks, and Jinbei's fishman karate plus water manipulation. All of them beat him clean. No surprises here. Now, let's talk about Brook. This one's actually a bit closer. Luffy's second gear cancels out some of Brook's speed advantage, and third gear gives Luffy big destructive power, but Brook's still dangerous. If he lands even one of his soul-freezing attacks, Luffy's rubber body might get locked up or shattered. Brook also has that weird awakening-like effect with his fruit, super underrated. So yeah, Brook would still win, but it wouldn't be a walk in the park anymore. It'd take effort. Frankie, pretty much the same situation. Luffy Luffy's stronger now, and his new gears give him ways to break through Franky's defenses. But Franky's still got a full arsenal: lasers, cannons, huge punches. If he plays it smart, he can land something big and end the fight. It'd be a brawl, but I still give Franky the W Chopper, with Monster Point is still a massive powerhouse. Luffy can hit harder now, sure, but Chopper in full monster form is a freak of nature. Unless Luffy lands a direct gear third punch early on, Chopper would overpower him. Strength-wise, he's still got the edge. Now, this is where we start seeing people fall off. Robin is one of the first to go. Yeah, her Wano form is scary, but this Luffy is fast, like really fast, and hits hard. Robin doesn't start fights at full power, and she needs a moment to set up her attacks. Luffy with gear second would rush her before she can react, and 1 or 2 solid punches would take her out. She's out of the race at this point. Usopp also hits a wall here. Even with Haki and all his clever gadgets, Luffy's way too fast now. Usopp would struggle just to land a clean shot. He might hold out for a bit with some traps or tricks, but Luffy's speed and brute force would break through eventually. So yeah, Usopp's out too. Still winning against Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei, Brook, Franky, Chopper. Now losing Robin, Usopp, Nami. We're starting to see a clearer divide now. Luffy's evolving fast, and it's enough to knock off some of the mid-tier Straw Hats. But the heavy hitters, the ones with raw power, speed, or overwhelming ability, are still too much for him. The fight's getting harder for them, but they still come out on top. Phase 4, Fishman Island and Dressrosa, post-time skip Gear 4th era. Now we're entering real territory, post-time skip Luffy. This is when the boy starts acting like a beast. He's got Haki, he's trained with Rayleigh, and most importantly, Gear 4th is officially in play. Boundman, King Kong gun, all that jazz. Luffy at this stage is no joke. But even so, let's see who in the current Straw Hat lineup can still put him down. Starting with the usual suspects, Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei. They're still in the race. Zoro is still a monster. Luffy's Gear 4th is wild, but Zoro's got that unmatched durability, raw power, and swordsmanship that can keep up with almost anyone. It wouldn't be easy, but Zoro could take the W if he goes all in. Sanji, same deal. It's getting closer now because Luffy's firepower and speed are out of control, but Sanji's genetically enhanced, has the raid suit, and skywalking agility. He could dodge, hit back, and wear Luffy down enough to win, but it wouldn't be a stomp. Jinbei, still a threat. His Fishman karate is tailor-made to counter Luffy, especially with water manipulation and the ability to redirect force. He could slow Luffy down, deflect attacks, and keep chipping away. It'd be tough, but I'd still say Jinbei could win, though it'd be closer than before. Now, let's talk about who starts dropping out of the game. Brook sadly just can't keep up anymore. His ice attacks and speed are impressive, but Luffy's current level of speed and destructive power is ridiculous. Gear 4th punches would one-shot him if they connect. Brook's cool, but he's out. Franky is next. Even with his brute strength and weaponized body, Gear 4th Luffy just hits too hard and too fast. Unless Franky lands something like a radical beam early, he's getting outpaced and crushed. Luffy's dodging more now, hitting harder, and tanking damage better. Franky's done. Chopper, yeah. Monster Point is cool, but it's not enough anymore. Luffy could smack him with a King Kong gun and send him into orbit. Luffy's brute strength is now on a completely different level. Chopper's out too. Still capable of beating Gear 4th Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei eliminated. Brook, Franky, Chopper, Robin, Usopp, Nami. The power gap is now massive. Luffy's Gear 4th makes him a mini Kaido. If you can't keep up with that level of force, you're done. Only the monster trio remains in the running, and from here on out, it's only gonna get tougher for them. Phase 5, Whole Cake Island, Snake Man plus Future Sight era. Alright, now we're stepping into Whole Cake Island, Luffy's turning point as a full-on monster. Not only does he have Gear 4th, but he adds Snake Man, giving him crazy speed and flexibility. And on top of that, he learns to see into the future with observation Haki. This version of Luffy is an absolute menace, so who can still keep up with him at this level? Let's start with Zoro. Even though Luffy's pulling off insane speed feats and reading attacks before they happen, Zoro is still hanging in there. Why? Because Zoro has Advanced Conqueror's Haki, his durability is off the charts, and the man literally reopened Kaido's scar. He might not win easily, but yeah, Zoro could still take this version of Luffy down. Sanji though? This one's tough. Sanji has the raid suit, his Germa upgrades, Diable Jambe. He's fast, strong, and built to last. But Luffy now sees attacks before they're thrown and hits like a truck. It's super close. Honestly, this could go either way depending on the flow of battle. Sanji might win sometimes, Luffy might win others. It's basically a 50-50. Let's just call it a draw and move Sanji forward. But barely. Now on to Jinbei, and here's where things change. Jinbei is still strong, obviously, with his Fishman Karate and solid defense. But Snake Man Luffy is just too much. He's faster, hits from weird angles, and can see Jinbei's moves coming before they even land. Jinbei wouldn't be able to keep up with that tempo, especially since Snake Man is relentless. Jinbei's officially out. So yeah, the monster trio shrinks by 1. Winners: Zoro 50-50 draw, Sanji out, Jinbei, Brook, Frankie, Chopper, Robin, Usopp, Nami. So now only Zoro is clearly above this version of Luffy, and Sanji is on the fence. Everyone else is totally outclassed. Snake Man is like Luffy on steroids. Faster, smarter, harder to hit. You need some serious power or top tier Haki to even stand a chance now. Phase 6, Wano Arc, Gear 5 plus peak, Haki era. Alright, final phase, Wano. This is peak Luffy. Gear 5 is in play. He's got Advanced Armament Haki, Advanced Observation Haki, and even Advanced Conqueror's Haki. He can punch through you from the inside, dodge your attacks before you throw them, and coat his fists in lightning and cartoon logic. Oh, and did I mention he can warp reality like a Looney Tunes god? Luffy right now is absolutely broken. This is not the same pirate that was struggling back in Dressrosa or Whole Cake. This is Joy Boy 2.0, bending the world to his will. So let's see who's left. Sanji. He barely managed to tie with Luffy back in Phase 5 when Snake Man was the max. But now, forget it. Gear 5 Luffy is on another planet. Sanji's fast, durable, genetically enhanced, but he has no answer to reality warping toon powers, future sight, and insane Haki layering. He's out, clean KO, only Zoro remains, and this fight would be wild. Zoro has Advanced Conqueror's Haki, monstrous attack power, and probably the highest durability in the crew aside from Luffy himself. The guy took an attack from 2 Yonkos and stayed standing. If anyone could take Luffy on, it's him, but even Zoro has limits. Luffy with Gear 5 isn't just powerful, he's unpredictable. He turns the battlefield into his playground, attacks from angles you can't even prepare for, and hits with enough force to yeet Kaido. Zoro might hold out for a while, and he definitely pushed Luffy to go all out. But in the end, Luffy takes it, barely, but he wins. Zoro's not far behind, he's right there, but he's still one step below full Gear 5 Luffy. Sanji eliminated Zoro, puts up a hell of a fight but still loses, so in the end, no one beats Gear 5th Luffy. He's the top of the mountain now. The crew has monsters, for sure, but Luffy's just different. He's become what every Straw Hat has followed from the beginning, the strongest pirate in the world. And that's it for the video. Do you agree with me or are you totally against it? Let me know in the comments. I really want to hear what you think. Also, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so I can reach 5,000 subscribers and make my dream come true. Big hug, and I'll see you in the next video.